Let's can some green beans. I've already got these snapped. I'm just going to give them a good soak. And then here's some of the supplies you're going to need. You're going to need jars. You're going to need new lids, some jar lifters, a funnel, some rings. And I also do a washcloth with white vinegar on it. This kind of helps disinfect the jar rings as you're putting your lids on. You're also going to need salt and your favorite recipe book. This is the one that I like to use. This is the Ball Blue canning book. It's one of my favorites. It's got so many just simple recipes, nothing too crazy. It's stuff that you'll actually really use. So first, you are going to put about 2 inches of water in your canner and go ahead and get that boiling. You're also going to get a kettle of water and get that boiling too. You also want to have your jars in a hot water bath to get them prepped and ready. You're supposed to do your lids and rings too, but I'm kind of bad and I don't do that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to pack our hot jar full of green beans. I'd like to do raw pack. There are different methods, but I prefer raw pack. It's the quickest and easiest, in my opinion. Some people like to cut their beans in pieces. I personally like to leave my beans whole, so I am just trying to pack them in the jar as best as I can. Once I get the jar fuller and I get closer to the top, I will snap some into smaller pieces just so the top is laid flat. Once you get your jar filled, every quart jar gets 1 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to just fill it up with your boiling water, leaving about 1 inch of headspace. At this point, some of your beans might start popping up and you'll just need to kind of readjust. You're also going to take a knife or any tool, whatever you want to use, and you want to get all those little air bubbles out of your jars. So I'm just going to continue and kind of put some final touches on this jar to get the beans to lay flat on the top. You don't want your beans sticking up and poking your lid. You want it to lay pretty flat. Once your jar looks ready, you are going to wipe your rim with your vinegar washcloth. Just make sure that rim is really clean, that there's no salt or anything on that rim so that your lid will seal. Then next you're going to put your ring on. Most of the time they say fingertip tight, not too tight. So there you have it. We're going to go ahead and prep all of the rest of our beans. Then we're going to fill the canner. Beans are one of those things, I think it was the first thing that I learned how to can. I honestly used to be terrified of a pressure canner. I thought it was going to explode, but really, it's really okay. Everything's fine. So load up your canner, get your beans in there. You're going to get your lid on and you're going to wait for it to start steaming. You're going to let it steam for 10 minutes, put your weight on, and then you are going to wait until this pops up. This is when your canner is ready to build pressure. We are up to pressure and we're going to let it go for 25 minutes. Once your 25 minutes is up, you're going to cut your burner off and let your canner go all the way down to 0. Wait another 5 minutes, and as you can see, there's no more steam coming out of your vents. It is ready to open. If you open it sooner, you risk your jars boiling out and steaming your face. So don't do that. Wait till it cools off, and you'll have perfect beans that you can eat year round.